This is your Fox 10 News Now update.
Hi everyone, Eric Reynolds with your Fox 10 News Now update. Mobile police investigating an armed carjacking in broad daylight. They say Monday a woman was sitting in her car at the Cabana Apartments when a man came up with a gun, came up to her and then made her get out. And when she did, she says, another car pulled up behind her, blocking her car in before the armed man got in her car. And then both cars took off. It's a dark gray Mitsubishi Mirage. Now, if you've seen the car or know anything about this carjacking, please call MPD right away. A woman accused of smashing a police car window during last month's protest in Mobile, now facing a rarely used federal charge. This is video of the incident shortly after the incident happened last week and the arrest here. The new charge accuses her of impeding law enforcement officers during civil disorder. It's a little used federal statute that dates to the Vietnam War era. Now, a search shows that the charge never has been filed in Mobile's federal court, at least as long as the electronic records exist, dating back to 1993. A federal magistrate judge denied a prosecution request to keep her in jail pending trial. He did allow her, though, to go free under the condition that she live with her mother. The case now heads to a grand jury. Mobile police believe a recent fire at a law office on Esplanade Avenue could be arson. The fire started just before 11 o'clock on Sunday, May 31st, the same night of several protests throughout the port city. Now, while the cause remains under investigation, Mobile Fire and Rescue released this surveillance video showing someone wearing a mask walking up to the building, and then they threw an object through the window at the same time the fire started, before then running off. Anyone with information is urged to contact investigators. The City of Mobile's decision to remove the Admiral Sims monument from downtown Mobile could spur a lawsuit. The state is threatening to sue the port city if the city leaders say it's never going back up. In a letter sent last week by Alabama's Attorney General Steve Marshall to Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimpson, AG Marshall writes, quote, "We have received conflicting reports about whether the city intends to temporarily relocate the statue or to remove it permanently." He goes on to say that permanent removal would subject the city to a $25,000 fine. AG Marshall says that removal of the monument from the intersection of Government and Royal Streets violates the Alabama Memorial Preservation Act of 2017. Now, the City of Mobile says it's working on a response right now. Some big changes coming to Fairhope this fall. The City Council has approved the replacement of more than 50 trees in the downtown area. Section Street in Fairhope is lined with willow oaks. Some were planted more than 20 years ago, and it's these older trees that are presenting a slight problem. The buckling sidewalks and cracked curbs are signs of what lies ahead if they're not removed. The willow oaks can exceed 80 feet in height and are hard to manage in an urban setting. The Fairhope City Council approved the removal of all of these trees between Morphy Avenue and Oak Street. The trees will be cut down and their stumps ground. The replacement trees will be the Chinese pistache trees and should be easier to manage. The replanting will not happen, though, until August, which is when all of the other plants are changed out to fall foliage.
Well, howdy there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine, and we're not done with rain yet. We're going to have another day. We're going to have some decent chances of showers and some thunderstorms. Actually, part of a front that's going to be pulling on through later today. Here we are at noontime and getting on to 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There'll be a number of storms rolling through. Could see a couple of these go severe. It's a possibility. It's a marginal risk out there today, the lowest level of risk. For the most part, though, just some rain and thunder here as these move through during the early part of the afternoon. As you get towards commute time in the later after part of the afternoon, things will be quieting down as those showers and storms shift off to the east. And after those move through, some drier air comes in behind. So here's what we're looking at for the planner as we go through the morning. Temperatures will be very mild and muggy, should be in the mid to upper 80s by this afternoon. Here's your planner as we go through the next 5 days. So a hot day today as we get in the upper 80s, but then as we go down the line, you can see those temperatures stay generally in the upper 80s, but look at the mornings. Very nice. Down in the 60s here. That is drier air, more pleasant air for us here across the Gulf Coast, and that holds right on into the upcoming weekend. So looking really good after we get through with these storms today. We've got several days of very nice weather.
Stay tuned to Fox 10 News throughout the day for the latest updates. This has been your Fox 10 News Now update.